Everyone, this is CherryEnchantress and I'm here with a flip through review, and this is a deck that won't be actually in my collection. It is a deck that I'm borrowing. A friend would like me to review it for everyone. This is a James R. Eads deck. He does the Mirravisions tarot. This is a 78 lenticular tarot and oracle cards deck. So I love this because you know how if you're a tarot reader, but also if you watch tarot, you see tarot cards and then the reader will put an oracle with it, like something compatible, not necessarily whatever they feel they're drawn to go with that tarot message. Well, this is like both incorporated together. I'm going to show you real quick. You probably already know about this. Is the 6th edition Mirravisions deck, and I have a flip through review of this one already. It's really beautiful. It's by James R. Eads. I love his book. I used the meanings of his different cards a lot in the creation of my tarot deck. And we have a beautiful silver edge, and then these amazing images that when you put together the suits, then they form a larger painting. So really lovely. The major arcana not so much, but the minor arcana all kind of combine together to make a larger picture. So and they're borderless and beautiful. So you may be familiar with this deck already, and then some of you already maybe know about the lenticular deck, but I feel like this concept of lenticular design is kind of a little bit newer thing. Threads of Fate, I already showed you a Threads of Fate flip through review of one of their deck, the Empyrean Tarot, which is a lenticular deck. And if you would like to see that, check out my flip through reviews of all the decks that I own. And by the way, if you would like a reading from any of those decks, just send me an email and say I'm interested in a reading from such and such deck. And it could be any of them. It could be Tarot of the Sexual Magic too, or any of them that you're interested in. I even have a Kama Sutra deck that you might like. I don't do very many readings, public readings, YouTube readings with those decks. So here is the book. It's thin and big, but shows you how to conduct a reading and a lot of fun spreads. Past life regression spread. That looks real interesting. Could do something like that for somebody. A nice long one. And then it goes into the meanings behind each card with their lenticular message, which this is like nothing ever in tarot is like this, you know. So I think this is just so, progressive and unusual and visionary, and like it's quite amazing undertaking. And so I'll refer back to the book a little bit, but I'm just going to show you the cards first. So here's like the welcome to Mirravisions little extra cards. Thank you for finding us at the edge of the universe. All right, so I think we start with this side. Yep. Yes, okay. I had it zoomed out because that box was very big, but I want to zoom in so you can see really clearly these images. So the first one is Fool, and its counterpart is Death. And I actually think I would like to start with I would just like to find out more about this one. So we'll go to the book and see the reference it makes between the Fool and Death. Now this isn't death as in the death card, because the death card has its own partner. So the upright, the Fool meaning is new beginning, spontaneity, leap of faith, and second chances. So perched on a pelican rests on an old wooden post, eroded by the lapping waves. Hidden in the dark, a hungry wolf awaits. The hand of death fades. Interesting, okay. Can you see it? The hand, oh yeah, see, there it goes. The hand of death fades in and out, grasping at either the pelican or the wolf. This is the first of two appearances of the hand of death in this deck. But do not be alarmed. Like the Fool, death is a symbol of a new beginning. Allow the ending of a cycle to open a door to a new chapter. I think, well, I'm not sure why the death card is so scary, but in part it could be for not feeling ready to let something go. Like in retrospect, whenever we've been through a cycle, let's say a process, a cycle, we reflect back and think, oh, thank God that was over and this is where I am now. But while you're going through the cycle, you may actually feel like, oh, no, I can't stop doing that. I have to keep this. I have to stay here. I have to keep doing this thing. It's hard to let go. And the death card is kind of like the universe saying, nope, it is your time, and it's not about, your time as in your life or death life, but it's your time as in this door is now closing to this cycle, whether you like it or not, and we're doing it for your benefit. It's like Spirit's doing it for your benefit. So it's hard to understand the benefit of it while you're going through the process, but when you find out in retrospect, you realize, oh yes, well, I needed that very much. So if you already approach anything in your life as realizing that it's a cycle and knowing that this too needs to pass or needs to fade out eventually, well, it's not like something that you dream about. You don't imagine the death of something. Of course not. You just live every moment. And so when the moment comes that it has to fade or has to pass away, then you accept it. But you also, can't just fly past it. Of course you can grieve it, especially relationships, that even toxic ones, you can grieve them. It's allowed because there's certain aspects of all relationships that we will miss or that we wanted to cling to. Anyway, so that gives you an example of, to me, what that means. But let's keep going. So if this came out in the reverse, I don't really read reversals because I feel like the tarot cards have, and by the way, that's the back. Isn't that pretty? It's not iridescent, but just kind of looks like it is. I like to do that with my backings too. So yeah, the reversal to me is always in another card in the deck, like the reverse story here, or something that needs to be in the. It just feel like the tarot tells you what it needs to tell you, all of it straight up and down. So, but if you want to talk about reverse meanings, let's just dabble with it now. The reverse meaning is naivete, halted growth, difficult beginning, and holding on. And that's all, to me, it's innate in decision making. It's like most of us don't give up that easily, something. And whenever I think about anything, I think both light and shadow at the same time, So the reverse, the Fool and Death suggests that you're holding on too tightly to something that needs to be released. Try not to be limited by your fears. If you're feeling afraid to take a leap into something new, then start small. You don't have to make grand changes, but comforts can become crutches, so now it's the time to grow. So that's kind of just what I was talking about. So within every card is both messages. So that's why I don't usually do reversals, because I end up saying the reversal anyway. So here we have the Magician and the Crow. Very cool. Which, you know, obviously the Crow is not a tarot. It is an oracle message. We have the High Priestess and the Swan. And yeah, the Empress and the Peacock. The Emperor and the Pelican. The Hierophant and the Phoenix. Neat. The Lovers and the Soulmates. Chariot and the Spirit Plane. Strength and the Orbs. Hermit and the Cosmic Tree. I like that one, so pretty. I recommend you guys check out James R. Eads' website. His you can follow him on Instagram. I like he posts things once in a while about his artwork and stuff, and also like what decks are available and what decks are being you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Phased out. I feel like a lot of the older decks are being phased out. He's got a lot of these decks though in tins now, so that's available. But just realize certain things have to fade out. So we have the Wheel of Fortune with the life map, Justice with Karma, Hanged Man, Sacrifice. I love this one. And so this is the actual death card with past lives. I want to do a reading about past lives and use that. This is neat. Temperance and the Maze, the Devil and the Vessel, the Tower and the Shore, the Star and the Veil, the Moon, the Bridge, the Sun. That's a really fun Sun card. And Infinite Paths, Judgment, the Unknown, the World, Life on Earth. Like that. That's a beautiful embrace. Pink Fox, Blue Heron. Okay, so it's some extra card. One extra card. Let's find out what the extra card says. I'm sorry if there's any noise that's disturbing you guys. I don't want to quit doing the flip through, so, and a lot, you know, the lighting is real important to me, otherwise it's going to be hard to see these cards. So this is flow, timing, and adaptation, and skillful. As the blue heron quietly disappears into the environment, the pink fox peers from behind a tree, waiting for the opportune moment. The blue heron is a bird of many meanings. Herons can be symbolic of stillness and elegance, but are also carnivorous predators that swallow their prey whole. Foxes are cunning and mischievous predators, but are also extremely adaptable and playful. Both are masters of their own environments, a duo of complete differences that still have managed to succeed. When you see this card in a reading, it's symbolic of the natural ebb and flow of the universe. Sometimes in order to find success, we need to adapt to our surroundings. Take a moment to listen to the universe. You're meant to be where you are. The reversed message here is misalignment, waiting, stillness, recalibration. Reversed, the heron stumbles into the water as the fox blends into the sunrise. When this card appears reversed, it can represent a feeling of off-center. Yeah. It doesn't actually have that would be cool, wouldn't it? Like if we could invent a lenticular that totally changed it. But anyway, when we're in rhythm with the universe, the other things will start to flow naturally. So it can be difficult when you feel misaligned. Pause and wait. Learn from the stillness of the heron and the patience of the fox. Recenter and calibrate when you're on stable ground. It doesn't have to happen right now. Sometimes just thinking about making a change is change enough. This card was created as a unique 79th card for the first edition of Mirravisions during the Kickstarter campaign. Readers may opt to take Pink Fox, Blue Heron out of their decks while conducting readings, as it's not a part of the original arcana. The choice is yours to make. I always like to keep all the extra cards in. Alright, so now let's take a look at the embers. Embers, and I guess that's the wands, fire. Okay, makes sense. Ace of Embers. Nice. Two of Embers. Or two of wands, two of embers. Three of wands, three of embers. Four of wands, four of embers. Five of wands, five of embers. Six of wands, six of embers. You can see me. The sun is coming through this window now. Hold on, let me see. Okay, pull the curtain a little bit. Seven of wands, seven of embers. Eight of wands, eight of embers. Nine of wands. Ooh, look at that volcano. Nine of embers. 10 of wands, 10 of embers. It was interesting when I was reading about lenticular deck with the Threads of Fate people. Their interest in it was kind of like you have like tarot cards are flat cards, right? They're two-dimensional. You get a reading, and you can get a reading like this, a video reading, but having lenticular cards, it's almost like you have a movie within your deck. So Page of Wands is the wanderer, the wanderer. Now this lighting is not going to be as good. Pardon. So that's another thing to know too as a tarot reader, if you do stuff like this, to make sure you have the lighting that will be compatible. You have the Shapeshifter, the Knight of Wands, the Mystic, the Queen of Wands, the Protector, the King of Wands, the Protector. And let me just show you the King of Wands. This way you can see just a little bit better, but the King of Wands, you know, is this, you see the figure of him, and he's like, has this golden swirl around him, like the Midas touch, and or the fire touch. And here you can see the same thing, but it's almost as if the gold is kind of fades a little bit more. So I just thought, but then it pops, you know. It's interesting because it's now the other image pops really strongly because it has more bold colors, and this one has more of the foil aspect kind of to it. So that's why I thought you would like to see the original. And if you have, so basically now you know, if you have the original Prismavisions, the lenticular version is the same thing, but with the extra, the kind of like the oracle card combined in the same image, making it a lenticular movie. There you go. So that explains it even further. We have the Ace of Chalices with the Ace of Lotuses. So it seems to me that the newer, of course, the newer images are these oracle images, and he was able probably to create oracle images that would really be able to pop. And not to say that the tarot doesn't pop, it does in its own way, but it's especially with it just has a certain glow to it. Okay, so we're moving into that, to our next suit, our water suit. And then we have the Two of Chalices moving into the Two of Lotuses. I love this one. It's so beautiful. You could stare at these forever. Like, I wouldn't be able to do a reading very long. I'm just like, well, yeah, Three of Chalices, Three of Lotuses, so nice. I mean, you know what it means, right? You know what it means. I'm just sitting there looking at it. You know what that means. All right. We're going to flip over the next group. So we have, oh yeah, we don't have to do that. Oh yeah, and by the way, the sound of them sound like a vinyl record, like a scratching record. Okay, sorry for Michael, who I didn't mean to scratch your. So we have the Queen of Chalices, the Mender. I'm skipping a few cards, it looks like. And then we have the Knight of Chalices, the Romantic. Ooh, pretty. And here, let me show you how they connect together. The King of Chalices, the Peacemaker. So, wait. So the King and the Queen connect, and then they connect to the Knight, and it just makes a big picture. So that's another thing that's really fun about this deck. Now, I don't know about if the lenticular... Oh, yeah, the lenticular does, too. Oh, that's so cool. There you go, guys. I'm done. This is just too amazing. And it really is amazing. It's amazing in itself, just somebody being such a great artist. And then on top of it, being so, like, a technical artist, technically minded, and so creative to do all of this. I am really in awe of this all. So let's complete the Suit of Cups, Four of Chalices. So you can see, and which is the Four of Lotuses, the Five of Chalices, the Five of Lotuses, the Six of Chalices and Six of Lotuses, the Seven of Chalices, 7 of lotuses. Oh, that's so pretty. And it just keeps going, you guys. 8 of chalices, 8. Oh, look at that house. I feel like I'm in a fun house myself when I'm looking at cards like this. So we'll put all these guys. But I mean, it would just make one big picture. Just keep going and going. 8 of chalices, 8 of lotuses. 9 of chalices, 9 of lotuses. 10 of chalices and 10 of lotuses. And then the page, and we already did the knight, the king, and the queen. The sword suit is the harshest one of all, but I feel like it's one of the most beautiful drawn one of all of them. Oh, I don't know. It's hard to choose, but I think I just like, it's very dramatic. Okay, so we have the ace of birds and the ace of swords and the ace of birds. Okay. The 2 of swords, the 2 of birds. 3 of swords, 3 of birds. 4 of swords, 4 of birds. 5 of swords, 5 of birds. I've been watching these eagles, this nest, waiting for the babies to be born, the eggs to hatch. 6 of swords, 6 of birds. 7 of swords, 7 of birds. Oh, look at that. Oh, the weather's getting rough. Let's do these together. The 8 of swords, the 8 of birds. The 9 of swords. This is the one. The 9 of birds. This is the one. That's okay. It starts like this. Then we have the 10 of swords. And then the 10 of birds. And the page, so that wing connects. The knight. Here comes the fighter, the weaver. We have the dreamer. The queen. And the king, the elementalist, and the dreamer. Seeing the king's got his little nest there. Anyway, this is so final suit is, oh, let me get this in order. So we have the ace of trees, ace of pentacles, ace of trees, 2 of pentacles, 2 of trees. The other thing that I love about his decks is that they're very collector's items, you know, and so there's all these different editions that have come out. If you're a real collector, you would have every edition, including the first edition of this amazing deck. Of course, I collect. I mean, I have to collect on a budget, to be honest. I would love to get this deck though. This is really cool. This will be on my to-do. 4 of Pentacles, 4 of Trees. Oh, so nice. 5 of Trees, 5 of Pentacles. The other thing I'm feeling, you know, like after the stress and struggle of the sword suit, it feels like the Pentacles is such a relief and relaxing. Even the 5 of Pentacles. 6 of Pentacles, 6 of Trees. 7 of Pentacles, 7 of Trees. 8 of Pentacles, 8 of Trees. 9 of Pentacles, 9 of Trees. 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Trees. Page of Pentacles, and the Pathfinder. The Knight of Pentacles and the Entertainer. I like me a little archetype in my deck. It turns out this deck that I've started on, my romantic fairy deck, tarot deck, may actually be an archetype deck, so I don't know, maybe a mix of things. It's anything I want it to be, right? King of Pentacles and the Commander. So amazing, you guys. Highly recommend this, especially if you're a collector. And this is the one that I have. You know, even if you don't get the big Mirravisions, I highly recommend the Prismavisions. Beautiful deck all in itself. And the Mirravisions is just impossible not to have something like this. It's just an incredible deck, and I feel like, you know, it's one of those things that if you like tarot at all, if you're here, then it's something you should have. And thank you, Michael, for letting me do a review of your deck. Faith, Trust, and Pixie Dust.